Oh, whose scientists made this up?
Not good. Go back to drawing board.
Go back to drawing board. Look at this. Look at this. Sprit the apricot.
You done messed up, Aaron!
When things are wrong, I'll be by your side. Even when you want to cry.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Welcome to the Naked Apple.
Yep.
In all of its glory. Oh. Once again, it has been a week, and once again, we will not be able to cover every single stupid 64 tabs that I had pulled up on my phone.
Brings to mind a wonderful quote from a recent Disney movie. Did you ever see the movie Soul?
Yes.
Yes. There's a wonderful line in there. It says, don't worry, they're fine. You can't crush a soul here. That's what life on Earth is for.
But, sir, we're in Earth right now. Oh.
Oh. Whoops.
Whoops. Well, better late than never. No, you can just stop. No. So, yeah, if you haven't heard, we were right.
I feel like you're starting our episodes that way. Like all the time.
It's getting, yeah. You know? Yeah. And now that you mentioned that, I realize we have nothing in our prep here for Black Lives Matter that's talking about killing anything white related. And black.
Do we have anything in here about the Black Lives Matter leaders getting arrested for misusing donated funds?
Nope, nor the Black Lives Matter founder resigning because people were a little upset that she was spending millions of dollars to buy houses in white neighborhoods. And what was the other one? Oh, the guy that founded Black Lives Matter in New Jersey, the first chapter there or something like that, left Black Lives Matter because, they're terrible. And then also the mothers of people like Breonna Taylor speaking out against Black Lives Matter, saying that they capitalized on their children's deaths. We only talked about that last summer. That things like this would happen. But, whatever.
Yep.
So,
all good.
Some vitamin B.
Some vitamin B. It's time for your vitamin B. Welcome to your vitamin B.
Thank you, Akeem.
I can't say that we have good news this week, but we have some fun ones.
Oh.
DeSantis decides to allow biological men to compete in women's sports as long as they wear high heels. It's a risky move.
That's a bold strategy,
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Democrat pilot and Republican co-pilot argue over how fast they should fly the plane into the ground. That sounds about right.
Wait.
Yes.
Are you reading Babylon?
Yes, it's Babylon B. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, carry on.
First ever Pride Month ruined by 40 days of rain. It's a lovely picture of Noah's Ark. It's terrible. It's terrible.
That implies things.
I thought the first ever Pride Month was ruined by a pillar of salt. Not my bag.
It wasn't ruined by the pillar of salt. It was ruined by a meteor storm.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Anyway. Compromise. Mayor Lori Lightfoot agrees to half interview with half black journalist. But only as long as her white husband gets to sit in.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
Kamala Harris to visit the tomb of the unknown soldier in order to tell him to enjoy the long weekend.
That's bad.
On Memorial Day, America honored fallen soldier AOC for her service on January 6th.
It's about time.
It's about time.
How long until she gets the Congressional Medal of Honor? I mean, she was in Congress when that happened, you know.
Yep.
Except she wasn't.
In a new political move, Trump begins running 2024 campaign ads on gas pumps. It is simply a meme that says, "Miss me yet?"
That's a bold strategy. That would pay off for him.
Yeah. Biden creates an OnlyFans account to share exclusive ice cream eating pics with journalists.
Chocolate chip. That's his favorite.
Yes. Along those same lines, reporters cheer as Biden takes huge bite out of microphone, mistaking it for ice cream.
I mean, some of them do look delicious. I'll
It's
give
true.
him that.
It's true. In other news, Newsom announces sweepstakes where 5 lucky winners get to move out of California.
Whoa, sign me up. Oh, wait, I'm already out.
I already left. Good.
I know.
Good.
Never lived there anyway.
And last, well, no, not last. I've got 2 more.
Oh.
Politics. Republicans counter $6 trillion budget proposal with fiscally responsible $5.9 trillion budget.
You already talked about this, the airplane.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Same story, different context.
Different spin on the same story.
yes.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
And now, last but certainly not least, God puts rainbow in sky, promising never to punish the earth with Friends reunion again.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Yeah.
And thank you for that promise.
One
Thank
of
you.
those
That
things,
was-
just let it die when it's good.
This has been your Vitamin B.
Wow. All right. Well, things have occurred. And let's go with I don't know. Should we start with Russia? Seems fitting.
It always sounds
Talked
fitting.
about gas a little bit. So Biden, as you know, shut down the Keystone Pipeline because of environment or something. And then he lifted sanctions for the Russian pipeline because it's basically done anyway, so might as well let them finish. You know, the Germans were basically done with an atomic weapon too, but we didn't let them finish. So, a pipeline's not the same thing as an atomic weapon. No, it's not, but I mean, the ramifications are probably about the same. Anyway, it turns out there's a lobbyist, Vincent Roberti, paid $15,000 last election to the Democratic National Convention. Or 14,000. 15, 14, I don't remember. And he paid $4,000 to Joe Biden's campaign. Now, they have given the money back after the news came out that they did that. People did some digging, though, in this Vincent Roberti, and they found that he's donated over $540,000 to Democrats since 2017, and he's been lobbying for the Russian pipeline the entire time. He's been paid over $7.7 million by Nord Stream 2, the company that is building the pipeline.
What?
Now remember, Donald Trump was the Russian puppet, right?
Sure.
And he colluded with Russia to get all this bad stuff done.
Sewer.
Joe Biden literally takes money from a Russian lobbyist and then opens up Russian assets that are connected to this lobbyist, directly connected to this lobbyist. Yeah.
Well,
He's donated exclusively to Democratic institutions such as Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, DCCC, that's terrible, and candidates such as Nancy Pelosi, Amy Klobuchar, Eric Swalwell, and numerous others from 2017 to 2020, and continues to do so this year, where the K Street powerhouse has already spent $31,900 funding Democrats up for re-election in 2022, most notably maxing out Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Who's the Russian puppet? It's not this guy that's just throwing money at the Democrats left and right. During the 2018 midterm election cycle, Roberti, who started lobbying for Nord Stream 2 in July 2017, donated $72,300 to the Democrats and $17,475 to the senatorial counterpart, to the Congress and Senate. Roberti also donated then maximum $5,400 to Amy Klobuchar, Swalwell in the run-up to 2020. He stepped up his game. He donated $171,000 to Democratic Congressional blah, 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 $71,000 to the Senate, Democrat Senate, and $46,000 to Speaker Nancy Pelosi's Victory Fund. He also made the maximum individual contribution to Pelosi's campaign and leadership PAC, as well as roughly a dozen other Democratic candidates. Really? Really? Really?
Yeah.
For I think that's, yeah. Democrats have publicly railed against candidates taking foreign money, specifically that can be linked to Russia. See the Mueller investigation into whether former President Donald Trump colluded with the Russian government in the 2016 election. Where they found nothing, but we found, well, they didn't find nothing. They found Hunter Biden, and they stopped that investigation pretty quick. But it was a little too late. During that same time, however, and still to this day, Democratic politicians and institutions have been taking money from a lobbyist who represents a massive pipeline that many in the international community call a substantial geopolitical win for Vladimir Putin. Yes, which at the very least seems completely at odds with the public rhetoric from the Democratic Party over the last few years. President Biden has come under intense scrutiny over the last few days in the wake of his administration waiving sanctions on Nord Stream 2, essentially clearing the way for the completion of the project. Da-da-da-da! We told you so.
Yeah, you skipped an important paragraph there.
Oh, did I?
You did. As mentioned, next paragraph down. As mentioned, Roberti is no stranger to throwing his substantial clout around D.C. He's been a longtime consultant and lobbyist for several major corporations, including Boeing, Pfizer, AT&T, and most recently, Pharma, the country's largest pharmaceutical company trade association. The Hill, the news organization The Hill, has rated him a top lobbyist every year since 2017.
Huh. Well, in a completely, totally, absolutely unrelated story, Joe Biden is freezing oil leases in Alaska refuge pending new environmental review. Because That's exactly what the U.S. needs, is to shut down more oil.
Yeah. So for people that don't really get how this works, why they do things like this, why this is a bad thing. So what happens is they get power and they shut something down for review or put some study out that says X thing.
We found this endangered frog here. We need to make
Yeah.
sure this isn't going to impact this endangered frog.
So that they can shut down one business or one area to make money in a different area. The perfect example of this is climate change in Florida.
Yeah.
So there's a study that came out a few years ago that said that the beachfront property on the Florida coast would be underwater in the next, 10, 15 years, right?
Right.
This study comes out. The land cost on the Florida beachfront properties plummets, just completely tanks.
Right, because it's going to flood.
Yeah, because it's going to flood.
Nobody wants to live in a place that's going to be underwater.
And you know what happened after that?
Al
People
Al
involved-
Gore absolutely did not buy beachfront property in Florida.
People involved with the study, Al Gore, Obama, several other higher up people that were involved with ordering and releasing this study, bought beachfront property for a reduced price.
Something about Martha's Vineyard or something like that.
Yeah. So this is how these politicians sneak around behind our backs and make money on things and also drive markets the way that they want them to go.
They didn't break any laws.
No, they didn't break any laws. They simply were able to exploit a particular wave in the market caused by something that they saw coming.
They were able to play on your emotions to get what they want.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because it's not illegal to play on someone's emotions unless you are emotionally abusing someone. Wait.
Does this not count as emotional abuse?
Well, if you accept it,
But
probably
no.
not.
So this is what they're doing. He's shut down the pipelines. He's shutting down pipelines. He's ordering environmental studies to freeze oil and to do these things because there are other interests that are pushing him to do so.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe a Russian lobbyist.
Has nothing
trying
to
to get
do
Russian oil
with
back
the
on the
actual effect that this has on the environment.
Hold on.
I would bet loads of money that if you were to find the kernel of truth, that it has nothing to do with actual threat to the environment, and it has everything to do with somebody's making money. Because there's a hole in the sky where a tree once stood.
Yeah. So, I had a hunch.
Oh, did you now?
So, under Donald Trump, the United States became the world's top producer of oil. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
So, out of curiosity, I just Googled oil production by country. Why would Russia be so interested in getting that pipeline done?
Oh, because it moves them from being number 3
To at least number 2. And if the United States starts shutting down its oil production, it gets closer to being number 2, which would have been surpassed by number 3, meaning Russia is now number 1. And guess what? Russia doesn't care about the frogs or the birds or whatever else might be living around the oil that they want to
And
extract.
neither does Saudi Arabia or China, and those are the next 3 on the list after us.
China's got a ways to go, but yeah.
But they don't have to produce oil. They produce sweat labor.
They produce sweat labor, and they have a large reserve of rare metals, rare earth metals, which you need for everything in the modern
And silk.
society.
They have an entire road made out of silk.
An entire road made out of silk. I don't think the road was made out of silk per se.
Describe something in history badly.
Just as American roads were not paved in gold.
You're welcome.
Yeah. But what is Biden doing instead of this? I mean, we can't drill for oil anymore because that destroys the environment. Well, we need more lithium ion.
We can't frack anymore because that destroys the environment.
But we need more lithium, though, because all these electric cars. And you see
because
Ford and GM and Nissan and all these companies, they're releasing all their cars. Ford has the electric Mustang.
Nothing helps the environment more than an electric car and lithium batteries.
Yeah, so let's see these lithium mines.
Non-recyclable lithium
batteries. This is what Biden wants to bring, because the oil is too damaging. But something like this, that doesn't destroy the environment.
You can't see that hole from space.
No, and all of this chemical runoff and everything, that's not going to make this land uninhabitable for nature. No, lithium mining to grow in Nevada.
Pahrump Valley.
I wonder if you dug into that, how connected these people are to Washington. Look, there's another lithium mine. The way that you mine lithium is strip mining. You have to get rid of everything. But, that little 5-inch hole in the ground, 6-inch hole in the ground from the oil drilling is going to kill the polar bears and melt all their ice caps.
Yep.
Because polar bears can't float in the water for 18 hours at a time.
Of course they can't. Have you seen a polar bear? If it got in the water, it would just sink. It's too fat.
Yeah, except for their fur is actually hollow. So when they're in the water, they're actually extremely buoyant. They have to try to drown themselves.
Congratulations, you have become a buoy.
Yeah. Polar bears have to try to drown themselves. And it's to the point where I'm pretty sure the Inuits are not happy with the increase in polar bear population.
Yeah, I can't imagine why.
It has nothing to do with them killing off their food and also ravaging their camps. I'm sure it has nothing to do with that.
Nothing
But hey,
to do with that at all.
We got, one thing I like. So you got these companies doing all these electric cars, right? Then you have Dodge sitting over there. Can we slap that V8 Hellcat into that Caravan over there?
I mean, it looks like a spaceship. Might as well make it fly like one too.
It's that's a van I will buy. Put a Hellcat engine in there, I'll buy it. So if things continue that way, I might be a Dodge guy.
I've known too many people that own Dodges to ever make that jump.
I realize that, but if all these other companies are going all electric, I think electric cars are cool. I think it's a great innovation.
You can't really believe they're all going to go all electric. Like, they're all building electric vehicles, but
I know they're
not going to go all electric.
They're getting all that government money to build electric vehicles.
Yeah, they're designing them specifically because they get a government grant for it.
Yeah, because that worked out so well for the Nissan Leaf.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that disappeared for a while because it sucked. It met the qualifications to get the grant, and that's it. But no, if electric cars are actually to have any kind of actual progress, let it happen naturally. Mm-hmm. Tesla, for example, yes, he gets grants and stuff from the government, but he also forked a bunch of his own money into it because he believes this is the way to go. So he did it because he wanted to, not because the government necessarily was giving him a grant for it. He said, well, what if we actually have an electric car that can travel over 250 miles on a charge? And then it can charge up to 70% within 15 minutes.
Just can't wait till he follows his company's namesake and actually learns how to charge his cars wirelessly.
There's that.
To the point where he could just build radial towers on roadways that would just charge your car as you run it.
Nikolai Tesla was Nikolai, not Ekolai.
Nikolai, yes.
Nikolai Tesla was way ahead of his time.
Nicola.
Nicola.
Whatever.
Tomato.
Pretty sure it's Nikola. Because there's another company actually called Nikola that's developing electrical vehicles.
Yeah.
As well. They were working on an electric truck,
But yeah, when Tesla came
if I
out
remember correctly.
with their whatever it is, Model S, Model X, whatever, everyone, including conservatives, were like, that's awesome. One, it looks like a normal car. Unlike all the electric cars beforehand, which were dinky little things with the half fender wheels, and you didn't really trust it.
Not gonna lie, Teslas are actually pretty cool.
Yeah. The price tag.
I mean, I would never buy one.
The price tag needs to go down a bit for me, but
But if someone were to hand me the keys to one and say take it for a drive, I might do that.
I will gas it. Figuratively.
I mean, I would bolt it? How does that even work? Volt? I would volt it.
Put a shock to your system. Yeah. All right. So moving on to something else.
You know the easiest way to keep your Tesla at full power all the time? Park it next to a charger.
You'll never run out. Boo. So, let's see. Let's trigger Mike.
That's not a good idea.
Marjorie Taylor Greene was hit with 4 Pinocchios for a claim about the Nazi Party. Serenity now. Serenity now. What did she say? What did she say about the Nazi Party?
Nothing but the truth.
Washington Post hit Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene with 4 Pinocchios for her claim that the Nazis were socialists. 4 Pinocchios is the highest rating, right?
I believe 5 Pinocchios
5
is the highest
Pinocchios
rating.
is the highest. So there's a modicum of truth, apparently, in what she said. You know, Nazis were the National Socialist Party, just like the Democrats are now a National Socialist Party, Greene said while speaking at an America First rally on May 27th. The Post's Glenn Kessler noted in a fact check the full name of Hitler's party was National Socialist Deutsche Angry German. And in English, it translates to National Socialist German Workers' Party.
You know, life is short, so you should tell someone that you love them today. But you should yell it at them in German because it's also scary.
So she says that the Nazis were the National Socialist Party. The fact check is, no, they were the National Socialist German Workers' Party. Okay, but they're still National Socialist Party.
But it was not a socialist party. It was a right-wing party.
Oh.
Ultra-nationalist party dedicated to racial purity, territorial expansion, and anti-Semitism, and total political control.
All right, so before we dig into this, just on the surface here, dedicated to racial purity. I have never seen a single conservative.
That cares one whit about racial purity?
None.
Yeah,
None.
me either.
Well, Donald Trump endorsed it. No, play the 10 seconds before and after what you always clip from South Carolina. Territorial expansion. Conservatives, for the most part, tried to not start wars.
Real conservatives, for the most part.
Progressives try to start wars. Anti-Semitism. I believe it was the Democrats that were tweeting out all these anti-Semitic things because Jerusalem
because
was
Palestine. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And total political control, HR1, SR1. HR1 and SR1, if you don't know, those are the first bills submitted to the House of Representatives and the Senate that would basically give total political control to the Democrats. Republicans would never win at least a presidential election ever again, and they would struggle to win congressional and Senate elections because it keeps states from doing anything to control how elections are done in their states. And it would all go federal. And it's filled with all kinds of stuff. Anyway, aside from that, he listed the first 8 of the 25 points of the 1920 Nazi Party platform.
Let me nitpick 8 of the 25 points to prove my point and just ignore the other half.
As Ronald Grinier of the Foreign Policy Research Institute has noted, in that platform there are also passages denouncing banks, department stores, and interest slavery. Okay, so for the most part, conservatives tell you to not be in debt. And conservatives aren't against department stores. And conservatives aren't against banks. They're against corrupt banks and corrupt department stores.
And last time I checked, it was the Democrats that were trying to kill all of our department stores and local businesses off
And
increase
doing
interest,
everything
and
they
taxes
could to
and
just
propping
print
up
money.
the banks.
Yeah. Anyway, he continued, that could be seen as a quasi-Marxist rejection of free markets, but these were also typical criticisms in the anti-Semitic playbook, which provided a clue that the party's overriding ideological goal was a fundamental challenge to private property. What? So because Hitler didn't want people to have private property, he wasn't socialist? Huh? Did I read that right?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
He pointed out left-wing parties, including the Communists and Social Democrats, were major parties in Germany in the 1920s. Yeah. Yeah. They were. And?
He adamantly rejected socialist ideas, dismantled or banned left-leaning parties because he didn't want the competition, and disapproved of trade unions.
Yeah, because they were trying to do stuff that was
At
contrary to what
least
we wanted.
he, in this statement, admits that trade unions are socialist garbage. So
Yeah.
there's that.
He suggested Green needs to brush up on her history of the Nazi Party, adding it was not a socialist party and cannot be compared, either in the United States or in Europe, to today's socialist. She earns 4 Pinocchios.
Oh, you're so full of shit.
I found the button! One thing this fact checker needs to brush up on, because I'm sure, what's his Germanic name? Kessler. I'm sure Kessler is a fan of critical race theory. And as we've pointed out, critical race theory stems from, was it the School of Hamburg or something like that?
Yeah.
Which is where the Nazis went to teach people on how to be racist without being racist, even though it absolutely was racist.
Anti-racist.
And from there it has gone. And then they went from there to, was it Harvard? or some. They came to a school here in the U.S. where critical race theory blossomed and grew into what we know today, and is pushed everywhere by the likes of people like Kessler. So who's the Nazi, Mr. Kessler? Your thoughts?
Stop it. Get some help.
It's not a socialist party. Yes, socialist is in the name, but it's not a socialist party. Except for everything that says it is. Because Hitler nationalized a lot of things, and socialized a lot of things. Just like we hear this push from Democrats that we need a national social health care system to help people and something. I don't know. Hitler did a similar thing.
In unrelated news, a new report shows that American mainstream media outlets have accepted millions from Chinese Communist Party-controlled news agencies.
Am I supposed to be surprised by that, or?
No.
Okay. Well, speaking of China, China is prepared to nuke anyone that talks about Wuhan. Because
Are they upset about the Wu flu?
the Wu flu. You got the Wu flu. See, because America still has some semblance of freedom, we're allowed to joke and kid and stuff like that. All jokes aside,
Winnie Jinping, Winnie Jinping, chubby little cuddly all stuffed with fluffies, Winnie Jinping. Anyway,
why does that look fake?
why does what look fake?
This missile.
Probably because it is.
I remember a while ago was it Iran paraded around nuclear missile that they had, and people were looking at it like something's off on that. They examined the picture more, and they found out the missile was made out of cardboard.
That's funny. I doubt you'll find this one's made of cardboard, but I do think it is interesting that they've decked out all of their army vehicles with white walls.
Well, I mean, you got to be classy. We're going to nuke the world, but we'll be classy about it.
Classy in what? The 40s?
Yeah. That's when nuking became cool. Yeah, they got a little hammer and sickle there on the star, too. You see that?
I do.
Do.
Now that should be frowned upon just as much as the frickin' swastika is.
Yeah, except you can buy stuff on Google Shop with that have that symbol, but you can't buy anything that's got a swastika. Or the not swastika. You can buy the swastika stuff on Google Shop too, but you can't buy
Oh my gosh.
the Southern flag.
No, they didn't.
What? What?
They named one of their strategic missiles the Dongfang.
Where? I want to.
It's in the italics. If you scroll down like halfway, the italics, the Dongfang 41.
We have strategic missile, like a Dongfeng 41.
Dongfang 41.
I'm sorry. What?
No,
this is serious. We'll nuke you with a Dongfeng.
Do as we say, or we hit you with the Dongfang.
Maybe it's because they didn't have people that they could exploit names from, like.
I'm sure that means something
stuff,
totally different in Chinese.
But you know, in the U.S. we have the Apache helicopter, Tomahawk cruise missile. It sounds threatening. Dongfeng, at least in English, does not sound. This. Oh no, he's gonna launch a Dongfeng. Hu Jin, a top Chinese propagandist, declared recently that China should prepare for a nuclear showdown with the United States after President Joe Biden affirmed continued investigation into the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh. Once decried as a conspiracy theory, despite a lack of evidence disproving the possibility, the Wuhan lab leak theory as the origin of the pandemic has gained significant footing in recent weeks. We covered this a long time ago, with high-profile scientists saying the possibility demands increased investigation. Like Fauci, who said no a week ago.
Okay, so a Dongfeng is getting back to the important part of this story.
Yeah, whatever, they're going to nuke us. A Dongfeng
Who was a doctor during the Three Kingdoms period, famous for refusing fees and requesting that his patients plant apricot trees instead. So, it is also an easterly wind. Or
so
a forest of apricot trees.
So it's probably more so the easterly wind, because I imagine the eastern winds for China bring terrible storms.
I don't know. Either way, it's a wind or it's an apricot tree or it's some weird.
But thinking
doctor.
they named it after a doctor that encouraged people to plant apricot trees. we shower you with apricot.
Your behavior, we throw apricot at you.
We sprit a apricot. No, it's atom.
Gosh,
you split the atom.
Split the atom.
Oh, whose scientists made this up?
No good. Go back to drawing board.
Go back to drawing board. Look at this. Look at this. Sprit a apricot.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Yeah, right. Yeah, Aaron, you mess up.
What kind of ruser sold this to us? What kind of rusers are we? Sprit to apricot.
Shove that Dongfeng where the sun don't shine.
That's all it's good for. Probably can't even sprit apricot. Oh, we're gonna die, but we'll be laughing the whole time. It'll be great. Stupid apricot.
A Moscow leader is launching a Dongfeng.
Sprit to apricot on Hawaii or California. Oh, they're spring rolls. It's not even real Chinese food. Give them apricot so they know how to make real Chinese food.
General Tso's no good. Take that weak shit home. You have to make a fried rice.
Fried rice
Fried rice.
with lots of broccoli.
None of this chili jelly shit. Something wrong with you.
What is red sauce? What is this red sauce? Abomination. What it is? No apricot in it.
Whoever make that, we find you and we hit you with Dongfeng.
Rain down upon you. Sprit the apricot rain down upon you. It's got hard pit. You can't eat it. You choke and die. That's how it works. Right.
Walnut shrimp. No good.
I think we covered that story pretty well.
Yep. Got it. Crushed it.
Sprit it.
In fact, we may have demolished it with the Dongfeng.
Dongfeng 42 rained down serious blow from Dongfeng 41. You thought that was bad. Wait until we get whole bushel apricot. So related to China, turns out face masks actually are pretty bad for you. If only there was people that would tell us that something. Oh wait, we did. University of Louisville did a study pulling all of its data from the CDC. They found that not only did masks do basically nothing in preventing or spreading COVID-19, I think more importantly, prolonged mask use greater than 4 hours per day promotes facial alkalization and inadvertently encourages dehydration, which in turn can enhance barrier breakdown and bacterial infection risk. British clinicians have reported masks to increase headaches and sweating and decrease cognitive precision. Survey bias notwithstanding, these sequelae are associated are associated with medical errors. We're insulting every culture in this episode.
It's because they ended the stay in Mexico policy.
By obscuring nonverbal communication, masks interfere with social learning in children. No. Likewise, masks can distort verbal speech and remove visual cues to the detriment of individuals with hearing loss. No. Clear face shields improve visual integration, but there is corresponding loss of sound quality. No.
What?
So if you have something stuck on your face, you have an increased risk of bacterial infection, which if you get a bacterial infection in your breathing area, you suffer from bacterial infection in your lungs, which means you have breathing problems, which is something that COVID directly attacks, is your lungs.
Because I only believe in science.
Yeah. And a friend of ours that works in a hospital has told me a couple of times that working there, people will come in and his fellow nurses will get upset of, it's all these people not wearing their masks. And he talks to the people that come in that are sick with COVID, and they'll say, I don't know what happened. I've been wearing my mask religiously. I've been doing all this stuff. Doesn't have anything to do with, I don't know, you're always touching your face and mask. Oh, that's what Fauci said at the very beginning, and we pointed that out, that masks are pointless because you always touch it and move it and all this stuff, and so it's pointless. In summary, mask mandates and use were poor predictors of COVID-19 spread in U.S. states. Case growth was independent of mandates at low and high rates of community spread, and mask use did not predict case growth during the summer or fall-winter waves. Strengths of our study include using two mask metrics to evaluate associations with COVID-19 growth rates, measuring normalized case growth in mandate and non-mandate states at comparable times to quantify the likely effect of mandates, and deconvolving the effect of mask use by examining case growth in states with variable mask use.
So proud of you. There were some weird words in there.
So
Good
proud of you. You did it so good.
You did so good.
We sprit
No dong fang for you.
no dog thing for you, but we still sprit an apricot in your honor.
Maybe we give you the general sauce. It's okay.
No sweet and sour though.
No sweet and sour though. The walnut shrimp is right out.
Yeah, the study is linked in this article from michaelsavage.com. I just use it because I like their summary. It was short and sweet, whereas the actual thing is a study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Anyway. Yeah.
Next up.
Next up, another shocker. We're going back to Biden. Well, his son, but also good old Joe. From the Daily Mail, Dad will be there, but keep that between us for now, end quote. Emails reveal Joe Biden did meet with Hunter Biden's foreign business partners while he was vice president during a dinner organized by his son to introduce potential clients to his powerful father. No. Yeah. Met with his son's Russian Ukrainian and Kazakhstan business associates, while Vice President emails show. Hunter Biden wrote to a friend before the 2015 Washington, D.C. dinner that it was ostensibly to discuss food security, but was in fact an opportunity to introduce his potential clients and partners to his powerful father.
Food security, huh?
That's what they call it now.
I'm using that for all of my clandestine meetings now. We have to discuss the food security.
Yes, quite.
Yes, quite. Damn colonials.
The shocking communications.
They're taking the tea and throwing it in the harbor. We have to be secure.
Get the dongfeng.
Get the dongfeng.
Call the Chinese. We need a dongfeng. Split some apricots over the top of them. The shocking communications appear to fly in the face of the president's claim that he had no knowledge of his son's business activities. I didn't. I wasn't.
I did not have. Oh wait, wrong president.
Also a Democrat. Yet the White House has remained silent over the revelations and has failed to respond to every request for comment about illegal activity and scandalous behavior. Evidence on Hunter's abandoned laptop obtained and exclusively verified by DailyMail.com.
You know what's funny about that? I heard an interview with Rudy Giuliani where he talked about the like warrant and them going into his house and stuff.
Was it the Crowder interview?
Yeah. And he was like, the only thing they wouldn't take is the Hunter Biden laptop. Like they wouldn't touch it.
Because they technically already have a copy. we already have
here.
one.
This is the Hunter laptop. No, we don't want that.
We don't want
but
that.
It's evidence. No, we don't want that one.
Oh,
okay. Well, now you know what to do in the future. If you ever get raided by the FBI, just tell them that the laptop belongs to Hunter Biden. They'll leave it behind.
A guest list Hunter prepared for the dinner at the private garden room at Georgetown's Cafe Milano included corrupt late former Moscow mayor Yuri Luzuv's wife, Russian billionaire Yelena Batrunia, and Mexican ambassador. Oh. What's the Mexican ambassador's name? Oh, it just and a Mexican ambassador. Okay, yeah, and then they got the emails here. Thank you for inviting me to DC. Let's see. Where's Joe? Where's Joe? The UN food program. Why does it matter if Hunter Biden is involved with the UN World Food Program? What business, what food industry thing does he have aside from snorting cheese out of a carpet? I mean, I guess that's in line with the UN, actually, now that I think about it. Praying for Bo. That's nice.
Yeah.
Part of me feels bad for Hunter Biden because everything is Bo. This is Bo's brother. I have a name. Oh, here it is. The reason for the dinner is ostensibly to discuss food security. Dad will be there, but keep that between us for now. Keep that BTW. Keep that, by the way, us. He doesn't even know how to use things. Also, let David know I will get back to him ASAP, probably sometime next week when we are through these next few days with Bo, which also is just between us. Quite.
By the way, us?
BTW us, yeah, by the way.
I'm pretty sure he meant that as between, like you said, but still.
Yeah. Of course, we already knew this because we covered it when it broke, and then the story got snuffed because can't be having stories like this about a presidential candidate right before an election. No. But hey, that Russia collusion thing, how about we do another impeachment, huh? Based on what? I don't know. We'll find something. We'll make it up if we have to. Oh, they did. Now, this one makes me laugh because for whatever reason in our viewership, listening ship, nobody listened to our budget episode. I don't blame you.
Yeah, no, don't blame you at all.
But it makes me laugh in that now all the conservative outlets are talking about the budget. Because Joe Biden thinks $6 trillion is going to be a great budget, over $6 trillion. Because, highways, childcare, climate change, something like that. Assuming a federal budget gap of more than $1 trillion. That's a little misleading. More than $1 trillion. Try $3 trillion. The long-delayed document focuses on lifting the middle class, expanding the social safety net, and boosting American competitiveness across the globe. It combines Biden's $2.3 trillion infrastructure plan, his $1.8 trillion families proposal, and $1.5 trillion in discretionary spending to fund federal agencies for the upcoming fiscal year.
So our plan was to slash it. His plan is to increase it.
Our plan was beans and rice. His plan is lobster dinner, surf and turf. Which, granted, I will take surf and turf over beans and rice any day.
But not when I'm on
But
a
when the
budget.
credit card keeps bouncing, declined,
Yeah, right.
declined. Hey, we send a dong fang if you keep declining.
We spent too much money on the Tongfang. You don't
can
have
only-
enough money for the lobster.
You can only overdraft so much.
The walnut shrimp is all out.
Walnut shrimp is gone.
It's gone.
Try apricot.
Apricot shrimp, no good.
Try sprit apricot shrimp. It's real good. Real delicious. This is from Politico, so that's spot on. But put together, this budget is an agenda for robust, durable economic growth and broadly shared prosperity, said Shalala Young, Biden's acting White House budget director. It will deliver a strong economy now and for decades into the future. How?
You sit on a throne of lies.
How does spending double what the U.S. brings in boost the economy? We don't have it in our show prep, but New York Times did a thing of, hey, it looks like Joe Biden might actually increase taxes on the middle class, lower class. Yeah, he has to. Because he can't pay for it with the upper class. You could take all of the money the upper class has, and it will not touch $6 trillion. Oh, I need to find that New York Times one, actually, because it had something. It had something. Where is it?
It had something.
It had something.
Something.
Something dark
Dark side.
Something
complete.
Do it.
Do it.
New York Times. Where is the New York Times?
Gotta say, I'm really proud of you, Trevor. You're living the dream. Having children, it's like living with little mini heroin addicts. Laughing one minute, and then they're crying the next, and then trying to kill themselves in the bathroom for no good reason. They're very mean and selfish and burn through your money. They break shit.
I mean, in all honesty, most of early parenthood is suicide watch. Don't run into the road. Stay away from the stairs. Don't touch that dog. Why are you jumping on that? Don't jump on that. There's a corner. Yeah.
Don't point that gun at him. He's an unpaid intern.
Unpaid intern. I probably won't find it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. That is annoying that it's not. Why is it not here?
I mean, I could just sit here and read random movie quotes for a little bit.
Quotes.
You know what makes life so difficult, Trevor?
What's that?
People.
You're not wrong.
If he's not done in 5 minutes, just wait a little bit longer.
Just wait a little bit longer. Almost there.
The dude abides.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Yeah, after
No.
COVID and everything, I'm just one stomach flu away from my goal weight. I literally am just sitting here reading movie lines. Can't find it, huh?
Middle class.
It's all right. Just edit this part out later so it sounds like you actually did it quickly.
Dang it. If I find it, I will post it because it was. They admit in the article that Donald Trump's tax plan decreased taxes for lower middle class. And Joe Biden's plan would erase that, effectively increasing taxes on those individuals, as well as all these other things would increase taxes on those individuals.
You got to love the Trevor Fetch game. 60% of the time it works every time.
This is one of those times.
It's all right. It's because it was intercepted by a dongfang.
Dongfang interception. Complete. Apricot dome works successfully.
Apricot dome initiate.
Impenetrable shield of pits. You ever try to break one of those pits? Impossible.
Impossible.
Recovery in real GDP has outperformed our expectations thus far. More than half of adults in the United States have been fully vaccinated, accelerating a full reopening.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, real GDP has outperformed. Yeah, what's our inflation rate? Astronomical.
20%. If you actually look at the real inflation rate, not the number that they put out, which is like 4.8 or some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Because they don't include any of the actual factors that really show where our inflation's at, because if they did, they would have to pay extra in Social Security and everything else.
Yeah. Under Biden's plan, the national debt would exceed the size of the economy for the entire decade. It's already there, rising to 117% of GDP by 2031. The deficit as a share of the economy would shrink from 16.7% this year to 4.7%. Bolshevik. It would not shrink from 16 to 4% when you're spending twice the income of the U.S.
I wonder what they have to exclude to get to that number.
You remember
Food, gas.
remember when we were talking about in our recording we did
Investments.
earlier, we talked about truth, how 1 + 1 is 2, unless
Yes.
you're doing
Statistics? Yeah.
Common Core math or critical race theory math, in which case you can easily get from 16.7 to 4 when you spend more instead of less. Yeah. It also predicts the economy will grow at around 2% for a decade. That's not enough to get to what you want.
Okay, so when you increase our spending by double, and our income increases by 2%, that leads to a deficit. That math doesn't add up.
No, like I said, if you use critical race theory math or common core math, it makes sense. So long as you can show how you get to the answer.
It makes perfect sense if you don't think about it.
The president's budget also predicts that the economy will grow. I already did that. Unemployment rate falling from 5.5% this year to 4.1% next year, then leveling off at 3.8% for the rest of the decade.
Right.
Except for you're encouraging people to not go to work. Because you're going to start the child tax check plan thing next month. And you want to send out 2 more stimulus checks before the end of the year. Why would anyone go work?
When the Fed shows up at your house looking for that child that you claimed.
You lost it? No, she was just...
She was just...
Oh no, she was just
Hold on.
hold on.
All right. So
Can you imagine those psychopaths?
psychopaths. Full time. Find jobs. What's the population of Salt Lake County?
Of Salt Lake County?
Yeah.
I want to say the heck 1.16 million. 1,160,437.
Let me correct that. How many adults? Are you able to find that?
Well, if you had, so that would be 37.8%. So if you take 438,645.
438,685. Huh? Currently in just Salt Lake City right now, on looking at local job search, there's 457 full-time jobs. That's all I typed in was full-time. Full-time. And I imagine the unemployment rate in Salt Lake is
the unemployment rate in Utah is 3.8% right now.
3.8%. Nice.
I saw that on a thing earlier today. Utah
So
is in the
Salt
top.
Lake City is 3.8. Utah as a whole is 3.3.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The national unemployment is 6.7.
I was going to say Utah's in like the top 5 right now in the nation for unemployment.
So this is just what's on a local search in Salt Lake City. There's 489 jobs in Salt Lake City.
Way more than that.
Yeah.
Everybody is hiring.
Everywhere. Just about every business I go past
We're hiring. We're hiring for all positions.
I'm hiring, and we're way outside of Utah, but outside of Salt Lake.
I'm hiring. I don't even have a business to hire anybody.
Search. 4,750 jobs throughout all of Utah. On
That's
just
ridiculous.
this. On just this. Most of those are in the Salt Lake-esque area. So, what's the problem? You can't find anywhere to work.
Well, and across the country, you have places shutting down because they can't find anybody to work.
Can't hire someone. You have McDonald's paying people to come to an interview. Yeah. But hey, let's throw some more stimulus out. Let's make up magic numbers about how things will recover as we spend more money than we actually have. By 2031, Biden wants to spend more than $935 billion on non-defense programs and $864 billion on the military, hoping to correct what the administration sees as a history of deficit funding for the nation's healthcare, education, and labor
Deficient
programs.
funding.
What did I say?
Deficit. But both are accurate.
I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. I will apologize for nothing I said wrong. Biden's budget calls for dropping bans on federal funding for abortion. Oh, yeah, let's kill more babies. Prohibitions he pledged to abolish while running for president. That move has drawn praise from the progressive lawmakers and advocacy groups who were expecting Biden to propose loosening the restrictions. Yeah, because this isn't going to condemn us at all, morally. The president is not, however, proposing to strike all longstanding anti-abortion language and is asking Congress to leave some limits in place, including restrictions on international aid.
Well,
Okay.
that's a hill that the Republicans will die on 10 years from now.
Yeah. Biden's proposals to relax, that's more abortion stuff. I'll be amazed if we can get a budget resolution out of the committee, because you haven't in the last 20 years. I think it'll be an exercise in futility. Even when you had total control, you still did not do a budget. When Republicans had total control, they did not do a budget.
It's a very simple way to get a budget, and that is the president does not sign any new spending bills until a budget is made.
A balanced
Budget is made.
which means you don't spend $6 trillion when your income is $3 trillion.
Yes. And the president definitely does not suggest any spending bills, especially not $6 trillion in spending.
The president can suggest
You know
spending
what I love?
bills.
I love the fact that like not even 5-8 years ago or so, we were pissed about billion-dollar spending bills, like multi-billion-dollar spending bills.
Yeah. When it was
how
creeping up.
dare you spend billions of dollars on these things?
Yeah.
Now we're like not even flinching as they throw tens of trillions of dollars down the drain.
It's not tens of trillions, it's 6 trillion. On top of the 1.8, on top of the 2, on top of the...
And in new news this week, we've set a record with our new budget as we spend $1.3 trillion in one sitting next week. And we've set a new record with $2.5 trillion and spend a new record with and a new record with $6 trillion.
So here's
They increase exponentially, and it's annoying AF.
So, for non-defense programs, $769 billion, you can cut most of that
You can cut all of that.
for non-defense programs.
You can cut all of that.
So in our proposal,
Guaranteed, every
we weren't
last
going to
dime.
touch the military at all. Not even digging into the waste that the military does have. We weren't even going to touch it in our idea.
Yeah.
Just
the
to
numbers we talked about.
Just
no.
to start. Biden already wants to increase it by 16%.
Don't increase it. Just make them spend it more efficiently.
Right. That being said, if you're going to increase an item of the budget, okay, I'll concede the military because, I don't know, China wants to nuke people with apricots for talking about the Wuhan lab.
I mean, there's that. Stop making fun of Dong Feng. I smack you with a Dong Feng.
Dong Fang! 41.
I had to take a breath in the middle of the word. Stop making fun of me.
So powerful. You have to take
powerful.
breath in between. As
Otherwise, you don't have the breath to finish.
we sprit the
The Dong Feng.
Period. In between. Dong, period, Fang, period. Apricot.
Apricot.
Sprit. We're going to hell and it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, if I got to walk into hell, I would hope that I have somebody I enjoy walking with me. That's all that matters.
The two men that would be thrown out of hell because we're having too much fun.
Look, guys, I know this is hell, but seriously, you can't keep making fun of that word.
Those guys were spat out of hell? Are they cursed? No. The devil just couldn't handle them.
You know the best part of Dongfeng? You don't have this problem.
How could you miss? It was 3 feet in front of you.
It's a long-range missile. You cannot miss from 5 feet away.
Cause an avalanche of spritter apricots.
The hunt's no win this time.
Your electronics will no longer work because they be coated in apricot jelly. You mean EMP? Apricot jelly.
Apricot jelly.
Short them out.
It's an AMP. Apricot magnetic pulse. Pulse.
Apricot mashed puss. No, I change it now. Map. Mashed apricot puss.
They're going to target my house because of this episode. But that's all right.
We have a VPN.
We have a VPN. They're not a sponsor, so I'm not going to say the name of ExpressVPN.
Oh, that's good.
On air.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of forgiveness.
That's the sound of people drowning, Carl.
That is what forgiveness sounds like. Screaming and then silence.
Screaming and then silence.
Shh. That's the sound that Dongfeng make. Forgiveness. Oh, gosh. Ooh, what you got going on over there?
Let's see if I can find. Dang it.
That good, huh?
Yeah. Oh.
Get the ShamWow usable and disposable mask woven fibers, which are
Woven fibers.
ShamWow.
those other masks you see on TV are made in China. I love Chinese people too, but come on.
There, I found it.
That's terrible. We're going to get flagged for that.
Ah, good. Flag us.
That's whatever. I don't care anymore.
That's why
We're on enough
Rumble.
other places now. I just don't care
That's
anymore.
why we're on Rumble more than we are YouTube now.
We're not monetized anyway.
Well, we're monetized on Rumble.
Are we?
One video is monetized.
Yay!
So far.
It's the funny one we made with
It's the Pelosi one.
with the Lich Queen, huh? Mm-hmm. Yay!
Yeah. Rumble decided they like that. Everyone liked that.
That's because it's funny
It is. And true.
and just
Anyway.
so good.
So,
Well, speaking of Rumble, follow us, like us, Rumble, do those things. Also, we have our locals page going.
yep. And we'll be working on figuring out some exclusive stuff to do on there.
We're thinking of a few things, but most importantly, if you guys go and subscribe, you can talk with us. You can talk with the community that we're going to start there.
So locals, if you don't know about it, it's kind of Discord meets Twitter meets Facebook meets
A subscription service.
Patreon meets it's basically the best of everything in one place. That being said, you don't have to pay to start an account or to follow people, stuff like that.
And see what they say.
Yeah. And then locals lets us decide kind of what happens on our page, which is really cool. So we basically are the moderators for what happens on the page, for what people can see, what they can't see, what they can interact with, blah, blah, blah.
As far as I can tell, though, you do have to subscribe in order to interact
Right.
with any of the stuff. As far as like commenting goes, like you can like stuff, you can share stuff, but you can't comment on it or participate in the page, any of the pages, unless you subscribe to the page.
And whenever we actually get that part of it set up, don't worry, we're cheap. So we know you're cheap too. We'll do it for as little as we can. I think $2 is the lowest they allow.
Yeah, I tried to switch it down to $2 the other day, but yeah, I'll talk to you about it later.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll do that so then you can spend them whatever's left on the monthly payment thing on people that are probably more worth your money, at least for now. But it's a cool setup. You should at least check it out, see if you like it, all that stuff. Otherwise, you can kind of find us on Facebook and all that other stuff.
But follow us so you can see what we're posting on there. We'll probably do some subscriber-only posts on there here coming up. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's the place to look at it. That place or Rumble. Rumble's fun too.
Yeah, Rumble. I'm liking Rumble now that we figured out how to
Actually get it working.
get things working.
That one's going to be good. So join us, comment, share your thoughts, share your ideas, share things that you find that are true. We don't want any of the like out there conspiracy theorist stuff.
And share this with other people so we can have more encouragement to give you more as well. That's all I got. That's all I got.
And I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Steady. Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you start recording already?
Yeah, I'm recording. I'm ready.
I'm recording. Are you recording?
I'm recording.
I'm recording.
Are you recording?
I'm recording. Are you recording?
We are recording.
Okay.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. Shall we then?
We shall.